Hello 583 students, thank you for patience as I was working on getting the screen capture up and running. I wanted to talk you through your country multimedia project. We've already talked about this in text, and there's a couple threads in the Ask Your Question form about it, but I wanted to have you hear me talk about it too. So the purpose of this project is to learn about a country, to learn about education in a country. It's not to learn about a specific issue. That's what your annotated bibliography is later on in the semester, but this is really about a country's education. We're in that point where we're thinking about comparative education in terms of what's life like here versus some other country or countries around the world. So this is really to get centered in one specific country, to learn more about them, and then to teach about them to the rest of us. So as I say here, secondary education in the Netherlands is fine. So you can focus on a specific area of education, like secondary or early childhood or higher education. But something specific like character education in secondary schools in the Netherlands is too much. Higher education is fine, but access to higher education for minorities is too specific. That's more of an issue that you're going to be researching later on in your annotated bibliography. This is really thinking about education more generally. Please make sure you're creative and informative in your project. You're giving us the basic information about the country's educational system, but you are not copying and pasting from a website or other resource. So you're explaining it to us. And then your most important takeaways, which may be significant differences or similarities, resources to share, aha moments, I didn't realize that this was the case, connections, this is how it works in my own context, or I never realized that, or I'd like to explore the use of this in my own context, whatever. When I explored secondary education in the Netherlands and discovered that they had what we would call vocational technical education, I really want to explore that as my area for annotated bibliography, whatever the case may be. I want you to use at least 3 images, videos, or links to videos or audio files. These can be created by you or used from the web. But if you do use a picture or a video or an audio that is from the web, you have to, of course, make sure you include it in your bibliographic references. So there is a rubric here. You'll see that overall the 40 points, 20 points goes to the information, 10 points to creativity, 5 points to attention to detail, and 5 points for your citations. So an exemplary project, which gets all points, is thorough discussion of the education in the country with the discussion of several comparative takeaways. Your deliverable is visually interesting and compelling. No errors, that means you look back over it, make sure everything's spelled correctly, etc. And that you have proper and correct citations for all of your elements, all the resources you used, all your media elements, etc. Please note that creativity is 25% of your grade for this assignment. I could explore and learn about a country's education system by looking on Wikipedia, but you're not doing that. You're teaching us about a country, and you're doing so with creativity in mind. So you'll look in the Blackboard site. You can see here it is linked in course information. There's also a link in Module 3, which is when it's due. If you go into course information, that's annoying. I have to fix that. You'll see here there's a country multimedia project folder. In that you can see the directions that I just went over. You can also see an example from me that I created of Dutch education system. Please notice when you look at it says I've created my first infographic as an example multimedia project. Please note I said I do not think I would get all points on creativity because I don't think it's very creative, but it gives you an example regardless. And then a link to upload your final project. It is due no later than 11:59 on Tuesday, February 20th. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask and use the Ask Your Question form, or send me individual emails if there's something that you would like to ask about your own specific project that you think would not be helpful for others to hear my answer. Thanks very much. I look forward to hearing what you've discovered about education around the world.